and together, let's celebrate the educators who are shaping the future, one classroom at a time. This is the Champions Podcast. Let the journey begin. Welcome to the Champions Podcast, the show where we celebrate the educators who are changing the game in the world of learning. Champions Podcast will take you on a journey through the inspiring stories of educators who teach with a mission, leaving an indelible mark on their schools and the lives of their students. Subscribe now, and together, let's celebrate the educators who are shaping the future, one classroom at a time. This is the Champions Podcast. Let the journey begin. Welcome to
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from where you are watching. So this is a Champion Podcast. Before I introduce you our guest for our current episode, remember to click the like and subscribe button and stay with us, because if we reach our milestone 1,000 subscribers, we will give out Chromebooks, to three of you, right? So today we are very, very blessed because we have someone very special that we are able to invite on our podcast today. And he is Mohammad Fitri, Mohammad Shukri, which is a digital consultant from what I know. And I don't want to take long, so can you introduce yourself to our audience and what are you doing now? Yes. Yeah, over to you.
Okay, hi Son, and hello to all the those following this podcast. Assalamualaikum to the Muslims. I'm Mohammad Fitri, Mohammad Shukri, Mohammad Fitri, Mohammad Shukri. Can call me Fitri. From Fitri Shukri Digital Consultancy. Obviously, that's my name. Okay. I'm yes, as you mentioned, a digital education consultant, or to be more specific, digital culture consultant, digital culture strategy leadership consultant. So my focus is I'm focusing now more on helping to build or to develop leadership amongst educators, to help them strategize and to make digital education a culture in schools, in the classroom, and also to achieve their objectives. I'm from Alostar, basically. Another thing, I'm from Alostar, from Kedah. So another maybe something quite unusual, because most consultants are based in Klang Valley, right, in Kuala Lumpur, Selangor. Yeah, but I'm based in Kedah in Alostar. Okay, fun fact about me. Fun fact, I'm an aviation buff. I love aviation. I love planes. Okay. And maybe another fun fact, I am not educated in education. My educational background is in the history and philosophy of science and technology, and also in strategic studies or international relations. And I'm also, of course, I'm not a teacher, and I'm being upfront. I've never been a teacher, never teach in any classroom. So that could be a plus point, and also maybe a negative point on how you see it. However, I've been in the education sector for nearly more than 2 decades. Okay, I started out as a trainer, in going from school to school, giving motivational talks, learning strategy, more for the students all over Malaysia, including in Sarawak where you're based. I've been to Surian also, actually. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and in 2013, I joined YTL, or Frog Asia, to be part of their One Best Study Net Frog VLE implementation consultant team. And then in 2009, I resigned from Frog Asia, and from there on, I've been on my own as a independent consultant, doing training, mostly trainings, webinars, and also live session like this in education. Yes.
All right. Just now you mentioned a focus on education, digital culture, strategy, and leadership. What do these terms mean to you, and how do they intersect in your work? If you don't mind sharing.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think let me go back to the basic of what we are doing in in Malaysia in education. I think everyone is now, especially the Malaysia, is on board in making sure digitalization is happening in all school all across the country, and the focus of nearly everyone is to upskill the teachers, to prepare them to teach using digital technologies, and also to equip schools with the right infrastructure. Although, of course, I mean, it varies, right? I mean, uh, first, I mean, not all schools have the necessary infrastructure. Even those that have, I mean, it is inadequate. And of course, there's also this widening gap between the urban school, the rural school, and also the gap between the in Peninsular Malaysia, Semenanjung Malaysia, and those in Borneo, Sabah, Sarawak, and of course, I'm sure even within Sarawak itself, there's this gap between those in, let's say, schools in Kuching, school in, let's say, maybe in the urban part of, let's say, Surian, right, compared to those in more urban part. I've been to some very very rural school in Sarawak itself. Uh, where even there's no phone line there, no telephone reception, but I've seen remarkable things being done in school with whatever technology they have. So I think that is, I think, where it give me the inspiration. As a word, I mean, yes, of course, infrastructure is very important. You need to have internet, computers, and all the other digital technologies. But at the end of the day, is what is your what's your purpose of using these technologies, and the motivation, the leadership, the culture. Is it being used by just one or two teachers, or is it being used by nearly all the teachers? And how about the students? Is it being only benefited by certain group segment of students, or is it for all the student? And is it only for certain subject? So as a consultant, my focus is to assist school to plan the right strategies for implementation, and also to give them the right training. However, I mean, this is something that I'm just starting to focus, because all this while the demand is more for digital skill training, which is I'm still doing. I'm sure you're also part of the digital skill training ecosystem. Okay, I've just conducted yesterday a training in a school in Ipoh on how to use quizzes, flickers, AI also. Yeah, another focus now is that on artificial intelligence, on generative artificial intelligence, on how to use AI, how to learn AI, how to approach AI, especially for educators. So I hope I've answered your question.
So before we dive deep even more, and then we go into the dark side of the thing, what are the some significant experience or project that have kind of shaped your view on importance of digital culture in the area or in the field that you are currently working? And do you have any success story to share to us so far before we dive deep even more? Yeah.
Yeah, good question. I think my experience in term of digital culture started especially when I was in with Frog Asia, YTL company, during the Frog VLE days, One Best Study Net days. First, I was tasked to assist what was called Champion Schools in 2013. When One Best Study Net started, the government, the Ministry of Education identified about 350 something, I can't remember, 350 something schools. I mean, based on number of PPDs, in Malaysia, and each PPD has certain number of school that we were tasked to assist. So we were given, it's not only me, there's a team of implementation consultants, okay? We were given a list of school that we have to go and train the teachers and plan with the administrator, the school leadership team, strategies on how to use Frog VLE, how to implement. So initially, we were given based on I mean, there was this list, and it was just given to me. Okay, Fitri, go to this school and this school, and all of us had different, very variety of school. I mean, I had the Sekolah Asrama Penuh, the residential school in Cyberjaya of all the place. So in other words, I mean, one of the very well equipped school Even the toilet, the Wi-Fi is very good at the time. That was 2013. Okay, and they had so many computer lab. I was also given a school in a very we call it premium luxurious residential area in the middle of Kuala Lumpur. I mean, where I mean, you don't ask them, do you have computers? And the question should be like, how many iPad do you have? You know, very rich student from very rich background. Okay, I was also given school in Kedah, in Kelantan, in Terengganu, in Selangor. Some of them in rural areas. So I had this mix of elite school, well-equipped school, and also those schools which are in the rural areas. Some are not equipped with the right technologies, and that's why that shaped me. I mean, I learned one thing. I learned is that yes, technology infrastructure, it does play a role in what in shaping the digital culture of that school, but that is not the only factor. And I've seen school. I'm amazed at especially teachers in rural school. Not only the school that I went to. I mean, school that my fellow colleagues who went to other school, we came back, we discussed each other, and the stories that I shared, that there are school where teachers from, I mean, you can't imagine how, with no phone line, with very basic infrastructure, they were able to do the best that they can do with digital technology at that time. And I've also seen school in, gifted with so many things, very fast internet, so many computer labs, student with all the laptop, iPads, but there was no culture. I mean, there was no usage of digital technology. And also and some of these schools had young teachers who are very IT tech savvy, but still no culture of using technologies there. And then there are school, another thing that shaped is that people always say that, I mean, okay, the young tech savvy teacher is going to be the teacher that's going to use all this technology. Not necessarily so. I've met, I know, I'm sure you also know some of them, those in their late 40s, in their 50s, and considered the senior veteran, the retro teachers. They are the one also. I mean, not all, but I mean, quite a number of them are actually using a very proficient using technologies in the classroom with their students, and also some of them are also trainers. JU, Jurulatih Utama, in this digital technology. So this kind of like, I mean, and of course, when I started 2013, I was given a list of about 20 to 22 school to take care of. And then later in 2016, my Frog Asia changed strategy. Instead of going to so many schools from different states, we were given one state to take care of. I mean, like, for example, one consultant was given to take care of Kedah, and then another consultant Kelantan. Okay, Sarawak being very large, so we had about three consultants. One focused on Kuching, Serian area, another focused on the Miri part, and then of course, but the challenge was, I mean, it's very hard to get someone from at that time from Sarawak who wanted to go to school in outside Kuching area, and also we had in Sabah two consultants taking one on the east coast part of Sabah, another one on the other side of Sabah. So I was given a choice to choose which state I want to. I'm from Kedah, so I mean, obviously, I mean, I should have chosen Kedah. At that time, I was staying in Kuala Lumpur actually, and so at the time, my in-law was from Terengganu, so it was the choice between Terengganu and Kedah. But then I found out that there's another guy from Terengganu who wanted to be in Terengganu, and then he's from Kelantan actually, but Terengganu is very nearby to his place. And from Kedah, there's another colleague of mine who she is from Kedah, so I decided, okay, and just give them a chance to be in their home state. So I decided on Perak, not knowing anything much about Perak. I mean, although I was brought up in Penang, I in Kedah, I work in Kuala Lumpur. So Perak, before that, was this state that you travel between Kedah and Kuala Lumpur, or between Penang and Kuala Lumpur. It's just a state that just went through. Yeah, so I didn't know much about Perak at the time. However, when I was stationed in Perak, I got to know the teachers in Perak. I created a community of, we call it advocate, Frog Valley Advocate. And the approach that I did was, instead of doing the approach of, top down, going to JPN, PPD, asking them to call all these teachers up and giving training, I did more on the bottom up. Bottom meaning like, I work with teachers who wanted to use technology, created a community from the ground up. I went to the school that most people wouldn't have gone to. I mean, for example, Perak is kind of in Semenanjung is very large, and Ipoh is in the center of Perak itself, being the capital of Perak. So obviously, you would have. I mean, most people would start in Ipoh. Like most of my colleagues would start in the capital city. Like if you're in Sarawak, start in Kuching. Those in, let's say, Johor Bahru start in Johor Bahru. Those in, let's say, Pahang start in Kuantan. But instead of focusing on Ipoh, I focus more on the outskirt. I mean, the extreme side. I mean, Taiping, and then Teluk Intan, Seri Iskandar. These are, I mean, not your first area, your go-to school. I mean, for your
Yeah.
first strategy. So why I started in all these areas work, because when I start to assist school in the we call it rural, but not the urban areas, right? Okay, of course, rural lah, but not pedalaman. Right? You get my point, right? Okay.
Yes.
So, and when I start to assist them to use technology at the time, of course, at the time it was fraud VLE. So it started kind of like people were starting to ask. I mean, okay, why are these schools suddenly improving their usage of fraud VLE? I mean, what are they doing? I mean, these are not the school that most people would focus on. So it attracted attention from others, including the JPN, and that's how how I entered Ipoh later on. So I mean, if for example, to give proper context, since you are in Sarawak, right, in Kuching, although the audience are from all over, okay, I throw there again. So if I were to be given Sarawak instead of starting in Kuching, I might have gone, let's say, maybe Sri Aman, or where else? We call it, all the other smaller towns first, Sri Aman, or we call it apa? Uh, just name another place, Sarike, Engkelili, maybe Serian even, maybe all the way to Kapit if I have to, and then if I could have, and if someone were to do that and help all these schools in these smaller towns, cities, yeah, of course people in Kuching would take note. I mean, why is it suddenly this school are using it in a way that we can't use it? What are they doing? So they start to invite, going to the major towns. That's how I started. I also wanted to prove that you don't have to be in major big city urban area to use technology. So it was also a proving point, I mean, for me to prove that you don't have to be in this area. You don't have to be in Kuala Lumpur. You don't have to be in Penang. Okay, because I also saw in Kuala Lumpur, in all this big area, there are schools with gifted with all these technologies but they can't use it properly. I mean, they didn't want to use it properly at the time. Another thing that shaped me is that is age. People say the young teachers will be the one who wants to use it. So we had, if I'm not wrong, in 2000, I can't remember. I think it's about 2014 or 15. There was this Guru Muda Satu Malaysia. I'm not sure whether you remember it or not. At that time, GM1M, Guru Muda, the young teachers,
Yeah.
movement. Okay. So the plan was, through this Guru Muda, fraud VLE, or I mean, I'm referring to fraud VLE because that was the technology at that time, right? Okay, so the thing is that we had to train this Guru Muda. That's the word. School would send about two young teachers below the age of 40, as to this training program that we had to conduct. I mean, was done with the Kementerian, the Ministry of Education. So the aim was that, okay, they came to our program, and when they go back to the school, they would train 10 other teachers, okay, and if possible, young teachers also, like around their age, below 40s, to use fraud VLE. That was the plan. I mean, on paper, it looked nice, I mean, young teachers were tech savvy, being trained on how to use fraud VLE, going back, train as a 5 to 10 teachers, if I'm not wrong, and using it for certain numbers of login per week. That was the plan. Okay. Yeah, you have a question?
Yes. Since you already shared a lot, right?
Oh,
Some
okay.
actually did interest me a bit. Now we are going to touch a bit deeper. And in your opinion, does this all change after MCO, or is it still the same in the past, now, and even what do you think in the future? What do you think the course that we are heading for our education in digitalization, or it is just a name that we put on a paper only? What do you think, sir?
Oh, okay. So actually, that's kind of like fast forward very far. But can I just go back to that story again, Guru Muda, just to finish that
Sure.
story? So I mean, okay, of course, it kind of like it does actually create a momentum. But I mean, I went to one school and they were asking why only the Guru Muda, why not ask the much more elder teacher? And it kind of like it was like a eureka moment. So I was like, yeah, why not? Eh? So what I did was I approached one PPD in Perak. I told the officers there that I want to do a training program for the Guru Retro. I call it retro, I mean, it's not nice to call Guru Tua, or the old teacher, I don't want to use the word veteran, so I use the word retro. It's kind of cool, So he was apprehensive at first. I was like, I mean, would they want to come to this training program? And I told him I don't want it to be like mandatory for them to come. It's more like it's more like voluntary. Register your name. And he was like, he's not really sure. I told him, it's okay. Just approve it. I prove to you it will work. And within less than one day, when we advertised that there's this program, not even just after about 4 hours after announcing it, the Google form they had to register in the Google form was full. It was full. They say those who want to come must be 40 and above. Okay, it was full, and then we had to open another session the next day for a different group of teachers. It was full also, and then we went to another district. Was also successful, and it shows that among the teachers, regardless of age, they actually want to learn. However, the approach is different. Yeah. Is there some kind of like a sound issues
Yeah.
there?
So does it still the same, or does it changes after MCO?
Oh,
What
okay.
do
I haven't answered your question yet. I think MCO was the
Oh, your mic.
okay. Is it okay now?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
All right.
that does happen from time to time, right? We're talking about technology, suddenly things in the technology itself try to test us. Okay. Okay. I mean, going back to your question, that's it. I mean, of course, there's a large increase of usage of technology after the MCO. I mean, the MCO was the catalyst for that to happen. And of course, there are more teachers now using technology all over Malaysia in schools. I mean, you can't deny that. I mean, there are if you I mean, yes, there are more teachers. There's improvement. However, the question I would ask is the return of investment, the ROI. I mean, so much has been invested by the Ministry of Education, by Malaysia itself, not only in terms of money, okay, but in terms of effort being put in, time, the energy, the number of officers in charge, and all this. I mean, the question that I would ask is that, is it does the Malaysia get the necessary return of investment? Is it berbaloi atau tidak? That's in Malay, right? And I would I mean I I mean people might quote this, but I think we haven't got the ROI yet. We haven't got the return on investment. Yes, more teachers are using it, but if you were to visit any school in Malaysia, I mean most of the school, I'm sure 99% of the school in Malaysia, at any given time in a normal teaching day, there are more teachers teaching using traditional method rather than using digital technologies. And even those who are teaching using digital technologies, I mean, how is I mean, what do they gain? I mean, of course, there are benefits to it, but is it worth it with the ROI? Something that we need to ask, and I don't have the answer to that. But I think uh, we can conclude that we haven't. I don't have the specific answer, but I would like to conclude that we haven't got the ROI that we had hoped for.
So based on what you just shared to us, we don't have ROI, and if I'm not wrong, we shouldn't coexist traditional teaching with modern teaching, or how is? What do you think? Yeah. Should
Okay,
we
first,
quote?
I'm not saying that traditional conventional teaching is wrong. I mean, we are from that generation, right? I mean, when you were in school, and I was in school, there was no such thing as this computer, digital internet, portal dilemma, anything. Doesn't, I mean, there's none of those days. I mean, however, I mean, of course, there are advantages to using digital technologies, and of course, not all topic, not all subject should be taught using digital technologies. But I'm sure that, I mean, if there are more users more usage of the proper usage of digital technology, it would actually help, especially with the current student generation who are digital savvy, the digital native, the screenagers of today's. Yeah. So of course, I mean, there are many approach, many method, blended learning lah, flip classroom. Yes, but I'm talking in a broader, bigger picture sense. I think we haven't yet reached a stage where it has become a majority thing. It has become a norm or a culture. You know, I mean, you go to any school, people know which teacher use digital technology because there's so few using it, they can actually name names. Oh, this teacher is using it, very good. This is using it, very good. I mean, what should be happening should be the other way around. It should be like digital technology. Yeah, we're using it. Everyone is using it except for maybe this name, that name, that name. It should be on the other flip, on the other side of the coin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So just now you also you just mentioned digital transformation, and it's indeed a hot topic now. So in your opinion, should it be challenged and continue to be challenged by leaders? Because I believe that teachers won't even move when the leaders won't take that abroad. Yes, sometimes we say teachers shouldn't become passenger, but sometimes school didn't work didn't able to go far because of the leader. And what's your take on this? Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. First, I think, in my opinion, I don't think it's appropriate to play the blame game.
Uh-uh.
Whose fault is it that we haven't achieved the digitalization we want to? So, for is everything okay? The audio?
Mm-mm. Yes. Mm-mm. Continue.
Yeah, okay. So I don't think we should play the blame game. However, I mean, let's see what have been done. School have been given in general, we have equipped school all over the country with infrastructures, internet, computers. Yes, it's still not enough. I'm aware it's still really not enough, but there are improvements. Teachers have been given all the training they need: Portal Delima, Google training, Microsoft training, Apple training, and all sort of other training. Event have been done, and there's all these like duta event or digital utilization. I'm not really sure what I mean. All this award ceremony to celebrate teachers for using digital technologies. The private sector have also played their roles. MDEC also played their role. But however, if you look, I think the missing link on why digital technology has yet to become culture in all school could be the leadership of the school itself, the lacking of digital leadership among the school senior leadership teams, and also lacking of the right strategy.
Talking about strategies, right? Could you sort of give a suggestion of the type of quality leadership that one should have in their school, so that we can propagate more towards digital culture in our school in Malaysia? Since you are more prone on leadership, and you also give training on leadership, so what's your take on this? Sir?
Okay, I think before we talk about leadership, the first question that needs to be asked and to be answered is we need to define digital. What is digital in school? Because if you ask 10 people, different people, you might get 10 different answers. If you ask the guru besar or the pengetua or the principal, digital for them could be, creating the ERPH, oh, our teachers are using ERPH. If you ask the teacher in charge of the portal Delima, for them, digital means using Delima portal. I mean, as many teachers and students are logging in, and then he or she will be happy. You ask the teacher who are Google certified teacher, so maybe digital for them is everyone's using Google, getting certified by Google. You ask the Microsoft teacher, then digital is about, doing all these things to become MIE. As the Apple teacher is, and then digital for them meaning, using iPads, getting the Apple teacher certification. And then you ask maybe the ICT teacher, digital could be, student learning TMK subject. So everyone have a different priority, different definition of what it is to be digital. So that creates a condition where everyone seems to be busy, hardworking, doing something about it, good intention, but at the end not getting the results. Because so many things are being done at the same time, and in some school nothing is being done also. Okay, but even in school that try to do everything, many people try to play their roles. At the end, are you getting what you want? Because everyone's doing different things. You ask the ladap teacher, the SU ladap for digital for them is making sure there are enough training program, enough ladap, doing all this digital training program, making sure everyone is registered on the SPL KPM. So at the end of the day, there's no focus. So I think there's a need first to define, for every school need to define what does digital means for them, and to focus, to have a focus, to talk, to discuss among themselves, what do they want, what is the end goal, what is the outcome that everyone wants, and that's where the school leader plays a role to making sure that everyone focus on the right thing. Because when we want to achieve something, we need to know what we want to achieve first. So I think that's the first thing that needs to be done. Define what does digital mean for that school, what is the outcome that everyone wants, and when they have a focus, then only you can plan the right strategy for it. So it differs. Maybe for certain school, the focus could be as basic as to make sure that we have internet working, especially those in rural area. So it could be like really the basic stuff. We want to make sure by the end of this year, at least, for example, 2 classroom have Wi-Fi. That could be the challenge for that school, and that's the focus of that school. But maybe in some other school, maybe the focus, for example, we want to be a school that use gamification for teaching and learning. So if you are, let's say, a Google certified teacher, then your contribution is how to use Google for gamification. If you're from Microsoft teacher, then your contribution is, okay, how do I use, for example, Minecraft for gamification? If you're from Apple, what can you use in Apple? If you are SU Ladap, then your plan is how to make sure that you have is to plan the right amount of ladap, a training program for gamification. So, and if you are the head of schools, guru besar pengurusi, then your role is to make sure everyone is aiming towards the right the same target outcome that you want. So there must be a focus in school. Don't just do it just for the sake of doing it, just for the sake to say, okay, we have already done all this training program, blah 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 blah. We've got all this SPL KPM, and all at the end, all you get is SPL KPM lah. Okay. Yeah. So I hope I've answered the question, or maybe part of the question.
All right. So you say focus, and
as a start, focus as a start. There must be an agreement of definition what it's like to be digital for that particular school, and also a focus for a certain time period. Yeah. So that how to start the ball rolling. Yeah.
all right. So just now you say about focus and then agreement, but sometimes our ministry didn't seem to agree with what they said at the front and what being introduced to the school above. What is your take on this? Because sometimes you see even schools in Sarawak teachers have to come to a point where they have to use their own money to buy the internet a satellite from Tesla and so on and so forth. And sometimes even some of the project didn't reach the school. And so what's your take on this? Because this is also relevant to the leadership, and sometimes even though the leadership won, but the top leadership above us didn't see their planning doesn't seem to go down to school. So what's your take on this? And should private companies go hand in hand with government, or 50-50, or all of this should go towards KPM as the person who implement all of this, or how on this? Because I believe that at some point, private companies can also come in as their CSR, and most schools also need CSR to go forward. Yeah, what's your opinion?
Okay. And a good leader is a leader that use whatever they have, whatever they can do with whatever resources they have. And also, of course, a good leader is realistic also. So of course, I mean, and I'm also aware that, I mean, government, the ministry is also aware that there are schools a very challenging situation. Situated very far away from the urban areas. For the telecommunication company to build telecommunication tower to that particular school is very challenging for them. The cost of building one or two telecommunication tower for that school is very high, and yes, it's really unfortunate. Even in 2023, we still have school that don't talk about internet, right? I mean, that we still have school that have challenge in terms of electricity, basic infrastructure. But I understand that the government is also doing something about it. The recent budget by the prime announced by the finance minister, the prime minister also, that they are allocating certain budget for the school. But of course, we also hear the same thing like every year from every time there's budget, there's a certain amount of budgets going to the rural school. So I can't comment much on this issue because I mean, I don't have much information. But I would like to bring back. Okay, I mean, of course, people are asking about this. This is inequality, right? Inequality, right? Okay, but my question would be, how about those that already have? I mean, those in school in Ipoh, in Kuala Lumpur, in Kuching, in Johor Bahru, in all these urban areas, there are still school in this area that is still not using technology that they are supposed to be. I mean, expected from them. There are still schools which are blessed with abundance of resources. They are still not using their full potential. I think that should be a question that should be. I mean, for me, that is my focus more. I mean, for school that have challenges in terms of infrastructure, especially, yes, something needs to be done, but there's something that you have to do whatever you have with whatever you have. And I think recently, I think you're also aware that, I mean, a few days ago there was this the Malaysia Teacher Prize. Yeah, the person who won don't remember his name. I think some Cikgu Nazmi something. He's from Sarawak also, right? Sarawak, Sabah. I think Sarawak, right? Yeah. I mean, he's from a rural school also. I understand. So I think he is. I mean, I do not know much about him. I mean, just read this from Facebook, right? Okay. So, I think I believe he is an example of doing whatever he can with whatever he have. So again, back to digital technology in rural school. First, does the school have any infrastructure, right? So the usual answer for most school, I'm sure, is not that it doesn't have at all. It's just not enough, right? It's not sufficient. So the next question is, okay, with what you already have, let's say that school have only 10 working computers, only 10. Okay, I'm sure there are some school maybe even less than that, but let's say for discussion's sake, there's 10 computers. So what are you doing with that computers? Are you actually utilizing it to your full potential or not? Or are you using that as an excuse not to use technology? People say, oh, we have 30 students in our class. Why only 10 computers? We can't use it. Whereas you can maybe ask them to use in groups, right? As a group work, or maybe rotate. There are so many approach and so many pedagogy approach in how to use less resources for many purposes. So the role of the school leader in that particular school is to explore, to discuss with the teachers the option on how to use with what we already have. If we have 10 computers, then how to use 10 computers. If we have 30 computers, how to use 30 computers. If our internet is only, let's say, some schools, they say, oh, internet laju only in the morning before 10, after 10 is slow. Some schools say, oh, our internet is only fast after 12. So if you know the usual time when it's laju, when it's slow, then you plan around that time. While we wait, hopefully there are more resources given by the higher authorities to improve. And of course, again, to answer your question also, how about the private sector? I mean, I think I think the ministry have never say no to any private sector who have with good intention want to help school, right? So if there's any private private sector who want to assist school to improve the infrastructure, then by all means go for it. But I think the school must make sure that the school call the shot. I mean, it's not like the private sector dictate, okay, because we're giving this, this computer to you, because we're giving this smart board to you, then so this is how the only way you use it. I don't think it's right to say that. I mean, if they want to give, they should give with the purpose of actually helping the school.
All right. Just
And another
now,
thing, I think add a bit, when private sector, when they give all these, CSR and thing, they
Mhm.
actually they they will be very happy to know whatever they give are being used correctly. So I think if any particular school get any allocation or any anything from this private sector, use it and communicates. The best way to say thank you to all these companies that assisting is to actually use it to so that this company we get, their branding is very good. People see them as helping the school, and if the school receive it, then it's good. It's like bertepuk dua belah tangan. Right? Because there are also instances where some school get all this assistance, but they're not using it to their full potential. So at the end, this company might not feel excited to help other school also.
all right. Just now you bring out a point that you sort of annoyed and frustrated that schools in urban area kind of got all the facilities, and we are going to focus on this. They have sort of facilities, but now we have another sort of enemy that coming in, which is AI, which is your expert area also. So, what's your take on this? Where there will be, of course, there will be teachers out there currently will say, "Oh, we go AI already. AI going to finish all our work, like the RPH everything. We just need one PC out of 30 PCs." How do you see this happening in our current trend of schools that have most of these facilities? Yeah.
I'm not that worried actually. I'm not that worried about AI impact on school at this moment, because I think most people have heard about AI, but not many have actually used it or
Mm-hmm.
use it and on a daily basis. I think when we talk AI, we're referring to generative AI, such as ChatGPT, Google Bard, Bing AI, and also those, there's the image creator AI like we call it the Firefly, Mid Journey, and the assistant type of AI, co-pilot type of AI. Um, uh, how to put this? I think at this moment, the teachers who are exploring AI are the same teachers who have actually been active using technology in school.
True.
So those who are happily not using anything, it's like, they are blissfully happy not using anything. So they don't feel they're missing anything. It's just like, people who love technology have this kind of, FOMO, fear of missing out. If I don't try this, I'm going to be ketinggalan. So I'm not really that worried about AI at this point, in terms of school. I'm more concerned in terms of the mindset that you see technology as something that can assist you.
Mm-hmm.
You are willing to explore and learn more on how to use technology, and you want to use technology not just for the sake of achieving KPI, not just for the sake of what we call this, because people above ask you to do it, but the main thing is you use technology for the sake of to help to improve the student outcome. I call it the digital student outcome, kemenjadian murid digital. I think that should be the focus also, because I'm also kind of critical with schools, or that use a lot of technology, but at the end of the day it doesn't benefit the student. Okay, what does that mean? For example, okay, again, I'm not saying don't do it. For example, there are schools that's very focused on, the technology for e-kehadiran, e-cuti, all those thing, okay, e-daftar and ERPH. Okay, fine, it's good. It looks nice. I mean, it sounds nice. It's also nice. But how does it affect the student? It's more like pentadbiran, right? And then there are also schools that, for example, okay, we want to make all the teachers here are certified by this, no need to mention, by this company, that company, right? Okay, good. Okay, good. It's good that they want to make sure all the teachers are certified. But at the end of the day, does that help the student? if the teachers are certified, educator, trainer, innovator, whatever it is, and they use it in the classroom for their student, or at the very least they give it homework, then okay, good, that's fine. That's what we want. But then I also know there are teachers who don't have any kind of certification, who don't care about all these, whatever companies up there, but they just want to teach for their student. But they might not win any award, they might not go to any, any anugerah digital whatsoever, but they're using it for their student, and using the student love it, the student become more interested to learn. That is what we should be aiming for. I mean the student outcome.
But sir, there will come to a point where there are going to be noise out there, like the TikTok cases a few months ago about student privacy. Yeah, because we are not teaching adult learners also, we are also teaching children, and data is being given up for free to those company that able to get data from KPM. So what's your concern about digital privacy when it comes to AI, and how should school handle this, and how should you, as someone who deal with digital consultancy, what's your opinion on this, and how should we go forward managing this new era of AI? Because AI means we also give our data to free, and then the data can be used freely by the AI, such as ChatGPT and so on. And if there is no control, everything will be leaked out, and hence no privacy. What's your take on this?
Well, okay, I think this is like a bit out of the what we discussed just now. So now moving from digital culture more to privacy and AI, I think there should be a give and take. Give and take. We want to use technology. We want all to be free, right? But of course, this company that they are profit oriented companies, right? I mean, they need to make money to innovate, right? So there must be an understanding that nothing is really free, and sometimes we don't pay. For example, we don't pay to that. For example, let's say Google, right? I mean, we don't pay to use Google, right? I mean, the Google search, right? But then how do they benefit from us? By us using it. When we search something on Google, Google knows that we like, we have this certain thing that we're searching for, so that they can recommend advertisement for us, right? Let's say if I was searching about nasi lemak, and of course after that there will come all this advertisement about nasi lemak, and if I click there, and then the company is selling nasi lemak, that's sponsor that pays Google to advertise, get business. So I think it benefit everyone, right? So the thing is, so when it comes to AI right now, what they are doing is that they are allowing us to use AI free, right? In exchange, we are actually training the AI, right? We're training AI. We're training the robots, lah, So we are actually giving free training to the robots, but because of that, we also get to use them free.
So you understand that school leadership is okay for school leadership or even parents to give up their data through the learning that they have go through in the school? Is that what you mean?
No, okay. I think you're going maybe a bit far here. Okay, I'm going back to the basic first. I mean, the basic in terms of we have to understand that by using these technologies, this so-called free technology, we're actually being their product actually, okay. But then again, we must also be smart. I think the keyword is to be smart. I mean, of course, don't give out your. I mean, even this company, also even ChatGPT says don't give your data, don't give your address, I mean, whatever that can become sensitive, can be misused by other people. Don't give this. So we must train the students, not only to everyone, to know the limitation, right? Okay, and not to give all this private information about ourselves. So that is, I think there's this citizenship program, digital citizenship program being done by certain quarters within ministry. I'm sure they also tell the same thing. Even before AI became a phenomenon, and we must guard our private information. Okay. So when it comes to the role of school leader, I think the school leader first must be aware first. I mean, not all school leaders are aware about this, so they must be aware that this thing called digital citizenship, privacy, security. Let me give an example. During the days of fraud VLE, there was at one time, school like to put on billboards, of all this list of ID, yes ID. Remember the yes ID, and also the password. Why? So that student don't have, they always forget the password. So just look at the billboard, or what's your ID, your name, ID, and then your password, and later on some of them created a book. So that was not the right approach to do, because you are actually exposing information. So later on, most of the school took down all those things, and student had to remember the ID and password, right? So because why it happened at that time, because people weren't aware yet at that time. Even the teacher weren't aware that this is actually private information. You cannot disclose it publicly. So it was a learning curve for everyone. So I think the role of an administrator is to be aware what needs to be protected online, and to make sure that the teachers, students are actually adhering to all this. And again, maybe to answer a bit more, for the bigger picture in terms of how we deal with AI companies, I think that's not the role of school leader. That's not the level of school leader. That should be at the ministry level dealing. Okay, should we allow, for example, ChatGPT to be used? Should we put ChatGPT in Portal Delima, for example? So I think that's not the role of the school leader. I think that's beyond them. And I'm aware, for example, in Portal Delima, there are quite a number of AI apps inside there. So I hope, and I'm sure, I mean, they have vetted this app already, and then is at the school level, at every school, that's the role of the SLT, school leadership team, to make sure that teachers and students are actually using it the right way, protecting their private information.
All right. So from all that you have shared, right, what are the potential pitfalls or challenges that educational institution should be aware of when implementing AI-driven strategies? Because sometimes, like what you say, it's not from the leader. Sometimes it's not from the parents, and should be by the ministry. Sometimes it's not from the ministry, and to and fro. And yeah, what's your take on this? Because I believe that it is still new, and since you are an expert in this, how do you see this this going forward? How should we implement in those areas in education? Yeah, sir.
Okay, I think what okay, see, AI is machine learning, right? It's machine learning. So I think what we should do also now is to learn how to learn to use AI. It's not just about introducing this app or that app. This app can do this, that app. I think the most importantly is to we must educate ourselves. We must also educate the students, on being able to be smart in how to choose, learn, explore, and use AI technologies, and to know the limits. Okay, for example, should you ask everything to ChatGPT? Because my concern is that we might come to a point where people just are lazy to think, because everything is available online, right? You know, or why spend half an hour to write a letter when you can just ask ChatGPT and get the letter done in 1 minute, Or yesterday I was teaching in school using quizzes, right? School in Nepal using quizzes. Now in quizzes there's this AI feature where they can create question for you less than 1 minute. So it's very convenient, but then the thing is, just make sure that we don't come to a point that if you use too much AI, you yourself forget on how to actually create the right question. You must not lose your humanity just because of AI. But at this point, what I see, my own personal observation and experience, we have not come to the point where everyone is using AI all the time, day and night. It's only those who are the more tech savvy, we're still at the stage of early adopters in terms of using AI. I mean, people like you, people like me, people who love technology. most other teachers are just fine going around their daily life without giving much thought about AI. But we might come to a point where everyone wants or will use AI. So that's where we must have a clear guideline of when to use, when not to use, how to use, and how not to use, and also the ability to choose the right apps, the right AI technology. Because there's nowadays, like every new app being launched, there's always an AI feature inside there, or or even for current app, there's always, when they update a new version of that app, there's always this AI feature, and people become overwhelmed. Even 2 days ago, a lecturer from a local university, a Professor Madia, she called me up. I mean, she messaged me. She told me she's overwhelmed by so many AI products out there, to the point she doesn't know how to choose or when to choose, and yeah, that kind of give like, and she's someone who loves technology. So that give an indication that we might come to a point AI fatigue. So many AI out there. Yeah, I don't
So
know
what?
whether I answered your question or not, but I
Uh,
think
okay.
that's what I think
So
about it.
talking on that, right? We still talking on that. So what do you think? Can you list down some of the ethical or consideration that we should put out to the public? If you could give 1 to 3 ethical consideration that we should uh, use that as our guideline, or sort of safeguard ourselves from overuse it. So what if you can, if you think of
Yeah, I think you use the right word. It's a guideline. It should be a guideline. It's not do's and don'ts. It's more like yeah, panduan lah, guideline, right? Okay, I think the first guideline is that if you can do the job yourself, whatever task you want to do, preparing a lesson, preparing question, doing research, writing letters, writing emails, creating poster, whatever you want to do, if you can do it yourself without using AI, and you can do it effectively, then by all means go ahead, do it yourself.
all right.
Okay. But then if you think by using AI you can do it much more efficiently, faster, better, then use AI.
Mm.
Okay. But if by using AI you will, in the long term, lose your skill, your ability to do certain tasks just because you're too dependent on AI, then you
Mm.
must make sure balance it, and don't I mean you must make sure there should be control lah, control. Don't use too much, and like it's like most thing. Don't use it too much, but don't also dismiss AI just because of that, because it is very helpful. It can help you to do a lot of things. Another thing is that like it depends also how you want to be valued. For
Mm-mm.
example, okay, there are certain things that you don't care, that you don't become the expert. Okay, let me ask you, Sen, do you like to
Mm.
cook?
Mm-mm. Yeah. Mm-mm. Yes.
Okay, but that's
Uh,
okay. What's your interest? What's your aim, your motivation? I mean, what let's say in maybe a few years time, what do you want to be? What do you aim to be?
I want to become a video editor in foods. How about that? Yeah.
A
Uh,
what? A video editor in food.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Regarding, yes. Mm-mm.
Okay, all right. So that is
Mm-hmm.
your mission, right? Your maybe medium term
Yes.
mission. So if you have a certain mission, then you must make sure that you must be smart in using AI, when to use, when not to use, so that people will say, "Oh, you are good in video editor in food because you yourself is good. It's not because you use AI 100%."
Uh,
Okay, but there's other thing. For example, let's say, how to put this in words, huh? Okay, the thing, if you want to elevate your value, your self worth to a higher level,
mm-hmm.
okay, so you want to become expert in certain areas, then you must make sure you become expert because of you, not because of AI.
Mm-hmm.
But there are also another aspect in life that you don't care much, then by all means use AI lah. For example, let's say I'm uh I'm not good in cooking, I'm not so interested in cooking. I just love to eat, right? So let's say if I need to cook, I will just ask AI, can give me the recipe for this particular thing. I just use AI because I don't care people judge me by the food I cook. So that one I can, okay, AI help me do 100% if possible. But as a, let's say, as a digital consultant, because I want to be to be to make my self-worth, my value much higher as a consultant, then that's where I will smartly use AI when I need to, but there are also other areas that I must be able to do without AI. For example, like tonight, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I'm able to answer your question without referring to ChatGPT, suddenly, asking open ChatGPT, everything. If I were to do that, then I'm worthless. Might as well you just talk to ChatGPT, right?
True, true, true.
So what I'm sharing with you is based on my own personal observation, experience, reading books, talking to other people, doing my own training. It's not because ChatGPT told me so, right? So what area you want to become good at, you want to be great at, you must know when to use, when not to use, to be smart using AI, because you must be good because of you, not because of AI assisted you. But in areas that you don't care much, it doesn't really matter in terms of your self-image or your future plan. Then if AI can help you, just use AI lah. I hope you understand that. I'm not sure whether I communicated clearly or not. Right? Okay.
All right. So before we end our podcast, right, what innovation or trend do you see shaping the future of education or even the country in terms of AI and digital culture? So if you can, yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
uh, we are still quite early in the generative AI, right? I
mhm,
mean, ChatGPT is not even 1 year in terms of public release. It's going to be 1 year by 30th of November, by end of this month. But imagine so many things happen within this 1 year since ChatGPT was launched publicly in 30th of November 2022 compared to the other 70 years history of AI, right? So it's going to be interesting time moving forward in terms of AI, including in education. Okay, at this point, people are talking about AI using teachers using AI to prepare lesson plan, to prepare question for maybe for assessment. So those are that could be a trend, a trend. Even lately, if you look in Facebook, it says the teachers are posting images of themselves using Bing AI image, using Firefly, So that is a trend, but I think that's not something. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be unsustainable, but at the end of the day, people are going to ask, by using this AI, does it help me? So I think the trend moving forward would be um maybe hybrid. I think it's going to be hybrid in terms of uh teachers start to realize that you don't have to be 100% using digital technology. You can combine both. Like in when you're teaching a topic, certain thing you can teach like normal classroom. Certain thing you can share as a homework. So I think hybrid is, people might not use the word hybrid. It's not. I mean, it's just term. It could be hybrid. It could be blended. But what I meant is that moving forward, uh, digital education should move into where it's combination of conventional traditional teaching with using digital. Shouldn't be 100% digital, but it shouldn't also go back to the days when we hardly use any technology.
all right, thank you. So before we end our podcast, I believe that there will be teachers out there or even listeners from other country like Indonesia, from what I see from the statistic. Yeah, how could they find you if they want to invite you to their location, to their country? Yeah, do you have any promo or any slide to show to them, and how can they find you? Yeah.
I wasn't ready for all the questions. This is the question that I was not ready actually. But I think they can find me in Google. Just type there Fitri Shukri Digital Consultancy.
Mhm.
Maybe the comment section can put there Fitri Shukri Digital Consultancy, or you can come to Facebook M Fitri M Shukri, my Facebook page. They can also find me in LinkedIn, Muhammad Fitri Muhammad Shukri. I think there's not many name by the name of Fitri Shukri, but I think when it comes to, yeah, I mean, um, I'm this is not something formal, but I'm in communication with educators in actually Nigeria. I have certain friends, some friends in Nigeria who are educators who are referring to me. Even this afternoon, I got a question from one of them asking how to use AI for PowerPoint presentation. And yeah, I'm very happy if people from Indonesia, wants to invite me, maybe online first, right? To talk about, because I noticed there's a very fast growing community of educational YouTubers from Indonesia. I think they have done a fantastic job of sharing about so many apps, I mean, so I really respect that, but I'm also aware Indonesia is a very large country, and also the population is very large population. I mean, even within Jakarta itself, there's like, Jakarta, Bogor. I mean, I can't remember the name of the area. It's like special area. It's nearly 20 million people living there. Like nearly like about 2/3 of the population of Malaysia, and even nearby. I mean, Medan. I mean, I'm in based in Kedah, so of course Sumatra is nearer to me. You are based in Kuching, Sarawak, so I'm sure like places like Pontianak, maybe in the new administrative capital of Indonesia being built in Borneo. So I think what we can offer to them, especially in Indonesia, is that uh, of course, one, we can learn also a lot from them because they have bigger challenges than us, but they can also learn from us in terms of how do we implement technology in I mean, we started first. I think we started first in terms of the Frog Valley one by Net, and also Malaysia had this national program, national program. We had Frog Valley, and then we had Portal de Lima, something that I'm not aware, but I'm not surprised if Indonesia is more open in terms of use what you want to use. We don't have KPI, so there might be this gap between those who are actually using technology and those who are not using it yet at this moment. So we are always Malaysia, always in the center, tengah-tengah, not too fast, not too slow also, right? So I'm sure there's a lot we can learn from them also, and also not only Indonesia. I think in ASEAN itself, Vietnam is very fast looking into digital education. Same with Philippines. Thailand, I'm not really sure. The challenge of Thailand and Vietnam maybe language barrier, but I think Philippines is another country that we can work a lot. I understand that you had also guests from Philippines, right? Because I think
Yes,
the English language is we can easily communicate with them. Also
true.
with Indonesia, because bahasa Indonesia and bahasa Malaysia, I mean, there's a lot of similarity. And you're aware when you ask ChatGPT in bahasa Malaysia, they will always answer in bahasa Indonesia, right? Yeah. And also even among the students, our students, they are so used to watching videos YouTube from Indonesia. My son, I mean, he can. I mean, he learned bahasa Indonesia from YouTube. Yeah, I think if I were to send him to Jakarta, he can understand them. He can talk to them. I think we should actually, and also you yourself too. I'm aware that you are very active in Google Education Group. So I think that's where you can also get to know GEG from Indonesia. That's how you I mean, and of course to fellow teachers who are in Microsoft or Apple. That's how you get to know also from other countries. I think we need to expose ourselves and our students to fellow student and educators in other country. And with technology we have right now, with all this Google Meet, live session, everything, we can do more than what we are actually currently doing. I hope we can go more. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you for coming on this podcast. So remember, to those who want to find Mrs. Fitri, Shukri, that's the way you can find uh, on his handle, right? That he just shared us just now. So that's all from me, Champion Podcast. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.